Alright, this next example problem deals with trying to describe the domain and range for the given parabola. So, in order to find the domain and the range, we must first find the vertex. So again, to find the vertex, we must use x equals a negative b over 2a. So in this problem, that would be the opposite of a negative 6 over 2 times 3. Well, the opposite of a negative 6 would be a positive 6 divided by 6 would equal 1. So my vertex is 1 comma something. So now I have to take the 1 and plug it in. So that's 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 5. So 1 squared is 1 times 3 is 3 minus 6 plus 5. 3 minus 6 is a negative 3 plus 5 equals a positive 2. So my vertex is 1 comma 2. Now, if that's my vertex and I look at this first value of my A, remember A tells me whether it opens up or down, this graph would open up with this point of 1 comma 2 being my vertex. So again, as we've talked, all parabolas that open up or down, the domain will always be all reals. But the range is what we have to determine. And now since the range, this graph opens up, and it opens up beginning at the y value of 2, my range is y is greater than or equal to 2. Alright? If we look at this next example, let's do something though. Let's change this, and we're going to make this negative 2 in front of that x squared. So I want it to be negative 2x squared minus 8x plus 7 for this graph. Alright? So, in this case, we take the opposite of my negative 8, divide by 2 times negative 2. So the opposite of negative 8 is 8, divided by negative 4 equals a negative 2. So my x value I know is a negative 2. Now I have to find my y value. So again, negative 2 times negative 2 squared minus 8 times negative 2 plus 7. Well, negative 2 squared is 4, times that negative 2 would be a negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 2 would be plus 16 plus 7. So negative 8 plus 16 is 8, plus 7 would be 15. So now my vertex is negative 2 comma 15. And since this A, remember we changed the A to be a negative 2 there, this graph would open down, which means this point here of negative 2, 15 is a maximum. So my domain again is all reals, and my range is y is going to be less than or equal to 15 because that was a maximum value, which means the graph opens down from there. Alright? So that finishes up the examples for lesson 8.3. The following slide will just review the maximum and minimum values. So again, we've dealt with trying to find the maximum occurs when our A is negative, and minimum values occur when A is positive. Alright? So again, we know how to find the vertex, how to find the axis of symmetry, whether the graph opens up or down. We also know the y-intercept is always just the value of c. So now we have some points that we could use to help graph the parabolas in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, don't forget to answer your summary questions and be ready to share them with your classmates tomorrow in class.